What's going on, guys? Avatarmanz here, and I'm going to be doing a replay analysis of the Sky Ferrets. This was a game that we had last night when Glock got back after a week's vacation. Showing you guys like our positioning and kind of what we do and why we do it. But I want to show you guys how Rocket League is like 70% positioning and like 30% mechanics. Showing you guys how important it is to kind of have a good rotation and a good position at all times on the field. Fun fact, on the Sky Ferrets, we do a left goes rotate on the kickoff, so Glock went. And if we have two people on the same position here, we have left goes. I'm sure most of you guys know that. So, easy goal. So like this, I'm going instead of Glock. Now here, I went to hit the ball to him. I don't do this very often, but I used to. I did this especially in RLCS Season 1. Where normally I would jump and tilt my car up vertically, right? And then flip my car over so it's on its backside. This allows me to get a redirect back to Glock. And I do this on the left side of the ball. You can see here, I'm actually more center, but once he hits it, I'll be more on the left side. So I'll pinch the ball to the right side. Originally, this would have been in a perfect position if I had my car slanted upwards more, more vertical. This is how I normally would have done it. I didn't flip into it, and this allows trash garbage here to hit the ball into me where I redirect it to Glock's side. So that's kind of my, official like kickoff, if you will. We did this a lot in RLCS Season 1, and this is normally what I do when, when the Sky Ferrets first formed. So this is kind of what we do for our kickoffs instead of cheating like most other teams. So... and you'll see here it does work. I did mess it up, but it does get to the right side like I intended. I see that he's AFK, so I'm actually going to steal their boost, trusting that my teammates can keep the ball on their side. But Glock and I both got bumped by the same person, so we're both rotating. I know that Glock got that boost. So again, a little tidbit here. I kind of came back and into the net. I noticed I was too far. I wanted to guard the back post on this instance because they might shoot it, up and to the right, where it would be a really hard save to make, like almost impossible if I was mid of the net. I backed up because it's easier to guard the back post and come forward rather than guarding the middle of the goal and then trying to make a backward save. So here, they're like 80 to 90% gonna shoot in front of me. So that's kind of why I did this, is I backed up first. I'm being very patient here, not really making any unnecessary moves. I'm allowing Wesley to hit it, and this allowed me to kind of make an offensive pressure. You'll see me do this a lot, to where I keep my momentum by just double jumping off the back wall. And then just getting right back onto it. A lot of people just do a lot of stuff here. I was just doing a single jump there just to make sure the save was going to happen. My positioning here is near post because I know that Glock in this position can't really shoot it wide, to the opposite post. I know it's possible from that location, but he more often than not shoots near post. So you'll see me here still hit it too wide to where I missed it. But Wesley got a nice read on that. And I almost scored off of it. But you'll see me grab boost a lot where everybody else isn't. Everybody else is up front. I don't need to be. I'm just kind of grabbing back boost. That mid boost right there wasn't spawned in, so I grabbed a back boost. And again, I see that everybody else is on the right. It's basically a 1v1 right now against me and trash garbage. So that's kind of why I position myself this way. I try to not be where everybody else is. So again, I'm staying center. I know that Wesley has our back and Glock is going for a pass or a shot here. So an AI ended up getting replaced, so that's why Wesley scored. And again, even though we don't do an offensive kickoff, we more often than not, end up winning kickoffs like after a move or two. because I went to grab back boost and Wesley didn't get it to me because he had a 2v1 there. But Glock is already pushing up as well. We're both pushing up, and Wesley's grabbing that mid boost. So this allows us to get a good rotation. You can see here that Wesley and I covered all bases. So Wesley and I kind of went up at the same time. This is definitely Wesley's turn to go up. I should have rotated back. And we kind of stay in the same spot. It's kind of risky, but there's... It was kind of safe to do because the ball was so far in the blue side. Again here, I look dumb, but you guys got to remember that even if you're going for the ball, you got to just keep pushing, because even if I don't get the ball here, I'm actually forcing a play. I know that Glock is behind me. He's most likely just heading straight back to net. So if I can cut off the midfield play, this guy can't dribble it. So that's why I flipped left. I thought he was going to cut it mid. So I flipped into it looking like an idiot. But realistically, this stops him from dribbling for the most part. He could have cut this mid, but it's less of a window for him to dribble. You know what I mean? So he ends up taking this up the wall. For some reason, I followed him. But again, I landed far post, or my near post. So this allows me to come, and if he shoots, you know, ahead of me, I have an easier time shooting it or saving it. And if he shoots it right above me for the top left corner, then I can just double jump up for a save. So I'm covering all bases there. I did an idiotic move by double jumping here and going for it. I got a little antsy because I knew that Glock landed there and Wesley was ahead of me, but I still went for it. So again, Squinty here could have made a shot on goal, but it was a mistake on my part. But again, I do trust my teammates to have my back. So this is why when everybody else is pushed up, I back out, grab mid boost, and this allows me to come and guard back post again. I gave Glock a little love tap here because he was moving. Again, I'm staying far post. It's always easier to stay far post and guard, you know, come forward on a save. I made that hit towards middle. I see that they're both going to be pushing forward. So what I do is I boost for the boost. Again, grab that back boost and guard back post again. I noticed that Wesley made a weak clear, so I'm staying back in net and making an offensive push now. I know that's going to pop up, so I went off the back wall. Made a decent shot with my tires, though. So I was freaking out at that point because if I had more boost, I would have definitely gotten a dunk and scored it, but I didn't have any left. Again, I was guarding back post instead in case he air dragged it around Wesley. So I was cherry picking here in case Glock would have got the hit. This was actually intentional. See, I was hoping that Glock would have hit it and I would have been faster to the ball than Wesley. But anyways, I saw that he lost it, so I was dropping back. But I knew that he was out of the play and Wesley was going to go for this. So instead of jumping at it, I let the ball catch on me and Wesley get the pinch off. It wasn't very anything special, but it was something. So I went for a 50-50 here, but I really shouldn't have. Should have just stayed back. Or if anything, just keep rushing. Just like boost through it now. I would have definitely beat this guy if I boosted to it now and just flipped into it. I would have beaten him. But I waited for some reason. So again, I trust my teammates, so I was going to grab boost. So here, I played from Glock's perspective because he actually hit the top of our net. He thought that he was on the outside, but he would have had it otherwise. So on this part, I actually went for the boost that Glock should have taken. Wesley's going to push this left if he can. Glock is going to take that left boost. I should have taken right boost, but it didn't happen. So instead of double jumping into it, I did a turn, you know, mid-flip and turned around. Glock is making an offensive push. This allows me to kind of just chill back, grab the boost that I should have grabbed, and then guard the goal again. So that was really dumb of me to come back like this. I should have definitely just... See, My momentum went on the wall here, so my intentions were kind of right because I double jumped off the wall to kind of get back to the net. But here, I'm going in the way of Wesley. So here, he could have definitely just driven out and jumped, but the ball is to my side, so it's kind of okay. But I really should not have been here at all because I'm in the way of Wesley right now. So I waited, which is the smart thing, because I don't know how he's going to cut this ball. The only way you can cut to get this goal is to cut it, because he's moving towards far post. Towards his near post, actually. So I didn't know if he was going to cut it behind me or hit it into me. But he had a good position on that. He was too close for me to get this. On this one, I actually did a fast kickoff. Instead of going for a regular fast kickoff like most people wouldn't expect from an early flip, I went for an opposite side fast kickoff. And this is what I mean when I say that there are 3 types of fast kickoffs: the near side, the middle, and the far side. This is the third variation of that, to where I waited to flip when I grabbed the boost, and then I flipped less, meaning I didn't barrel roll, I flipped less. So I land on the right side of the ball and I boost into it to hit that right side. So I'll watch it from his perspective to kind of see what he expected out of that. So he did a dumb job of not flipping into it. He probably thought I was going to do a regular fast kickoff. But here he doesn't flip into it and doesn't expect me to cut it so far. He was actually pretty close to the ball and blocked me from hitting it forwards. But because I boosted and I hit it kind of okay, he flipped into it, but he was too late. So I'll watch that one more time at full speed. So I stole their boost right away. Even if I don't hit the ball, it's okay. Now Wesley makes a pretty insane hit there. I took off ball cam to kind of hit this better, and I'll show you that from Wesley's perspective, because that was actually quite amazing. So he was about to rotate back because that was going over his head, but he goes backwards and chips it off the corner. And I'll show you guys that from Glock's perspective, because Glock had really good positioning here. So he notices that Wesley's to his left, right? So he's like, oh crap, I'm rotating back. But he notices that Wesley puts it forward, but because 2 people are already pushing, I'm probably going to lose this, honestly. So Glock is still staying back, and he's going to rotate back. But he's still following the ball. The ball is going to the right, so he's kind of following it to the right. He has pretty decent distance. And I get the pop-up. I'll show you that one more time from my perspective. So I noticed that Wesley popped it up, so I did a double jump aerial here. Took off ball cam because it's always easier for me, personally, to hit it like this. I should have realistically tilted my car back even more. Instead of hitting it to where it would just kill up towards the ceiling, I wanted this to tilt back so it would kind of go off the back wall more to kind of keep its momentum forward to push it towards the goal more. But because I hit the ceiling, Wesley was able to make a decent aerial and hit it. So that was kind of nice. So Wesley goes for something insane here. And again, I'm nitpicking, but I want to show you guys this in soft attach because it's important to see how I went up for this. I ended up missing the ball, but because the ball was coming over my head so fast, and I'm going back towards the net, you want to stop your momentum. You want to brake before you aerial. Otherwise, I'm just going to throw myself into the net or the back wall. You can see I braked there. It was very subtle, but it stopped my momentum from going into the net. Again, I pumped my boost, so I ended up missing this. And they ended up scoring. But my line of sight was correct and my positioning was correct. I just should have boosted all the way. Miscalculation on my part. So here I went for my normal face-off. What I do is I tilt, when I'm on the side, I angle, turn towards the middle, and then flip left to correct. So you can see here I angled towards the middle of the field, and then flip left. This allows me to land in the middle of the ball because we're both coming at an angle, so the middle is kind of off center. But then I flipped again, so this allowed me to come and flip early and kind of win that kickoff. So something important that I just, another tidbit, I know I'm kind of nitpicking here, but you always want to try to see how fast I'm going here. I ended up just doing a drift, and you can see here I land perfectly in the middle of the goal. This is a decent position because they can shoot to my right or my left. If they shoot left, I have a harder time saving it. But, you know, in regards of my distance to the net and my, you know, how fast I was going and how fast I returned to the net, this is perfect. Because I went straight back to net really quickly, and I turned around really quickly. I did that with a nice power slide. We ended up both going for a block there, and both ended up missing. This is really dumb on my part because I kind of went forwards instead of going left and rotating behind Wesley. So this is a mistake on my part where I kept driving in the line of sight where Wesley was. So I'm literally right in front of him. But I stopped accelerating and I stopped moving because I know that even if I'm in front of Wesley, I trust that he can save the ball even if I'm standing right in front of him. He's standing so far back because he thought I was going to drive into him. But I just stopped moving. And I told him this. I said, hey, I'm not moving. He said, okay. And this allowed him to move forward. And he moved to the left of me. So it's kind of like a mistake corrected there. I trusted that he had a save if he had to make one, you know. And it was kind of an unfortunate incident, kind of turned to the best. We both went for that when we shouldn't have. So I did a decent rotation here. And again, I guarded back post. I drifted into the net in the back. I kept kind of leaving my momentum back here. So I have a lot of space to cover ahead of me. It would have been easier to make a save up to my right. But they don't. So they end up putting a shot on net to where I can drive forward. We ended up pinching it. And they ended up scoring. But it's not any of our faults, really. We both went for a save. Wesley would have had that to the right. I would have had it forwards. I probably had a better save. But, I mean, Wesley doesn't know. He just landed there. So it's not any of our fault that it just pinched, you know, weak. And they ended up scoring. This is kind of a video that I've been wanting to make for a long time. I know it's long and I know it's kind of boring. But a lot of these points are really, really fine-tuning. But if you guys really want to kind of get better, then I suggest, you know, thank you for watching, and I kind of suggest to kind of take these with a grain of salt because it's really the finer points of positioning and mechanics that, you know, will propel you into a higher level of gameplay. So I'm not really saying that I'm at a super high level, but based on statistics, the average person is like Challenger 1 to Challenger Elite. So, and in my unranked MMR is above like 1,100, which is above All-Star level. So we're playing all-star opponents right now. I know it may not seem like a hard game, but we played it really well without having to be too fancy with any... You know, notice I didn't do any air drags. I didn't do any fancy wall shots, you know, like I normally do. But, again, this game was kind of focused on positioning, and that's why I picked this replay to show you guys. So, again, thanks for watching, guys. If you guys like this video and like more videos like this, I promise to make them shorter. But leave a comment if you like this. Make sure to like if you like this video. But if you guys like what I do here, make sure to subscribe for notifications on my new videos. Thanks for watching, guys. Avatarmanz, signing out.